Okay, Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Ganiu Johnson, is here with us in the studio. Maybe I should add, Engineer Ganiu Johnson. It's good to have you on the breakfast show this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
14 years in the pipeline, and this dream looks like it is coming true, or has it come true?
It has come true. It's a reality now.
It's amazing. So tell us about, we have heard about, how much this will cost, the private input, which is going to be a major part of this and all of that. But really, how soon? For people like us, who live in Ikorodu and, places like that, how soon is this bridge, this 38 kilometers road starting off?
Yeah, the truth is that we started the process. And the process is the first step by signing the MOU, which is the Memorandum of Understanding. And what does it mean? It means that we're not going to engage any investor over a period of about 6 months. And these 6 months, we've tied the 6 months to some milestones that the investor must be able to come up with some, achieve some milestones. There will be some deliverables within this exposure. So, once we're able to achieve those deliverables, we will now go to the next step, which is the MOA, the Memorandum of Agreement. Once the agreement is signed and we're able to reach financial close, we are ready to go.
Okay, for the Memorandum of Agreement, what's time between?
We are looking at 6 months.
Okay, so
we are looking at 6 months.
Okay, so in all, you're looking at a year for it to take proper shape, really? Is that what you're saying?
Immediately once the deliverables are delivered, then and the MOA is signed, we are looking at another 3 months so that the bridge can commence.
Okay, so what are the terms that you're looking at for this MOA to be signed? 844 billion naira, that's a lot of money. And I'm just thinking, with the, rate of inflation and all of that, how is that likely to affect this figure, that you're proposing, to fund this project?
We factored all those into it.
Perhaps the forex.
Yes, and we are also sourcing internally the funding.
But it's obvious some of your partners are bankers?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so what happens?
And that's what I'm saying. We factored. The investor, don't forget that this is a PPP project, and the state government, all we are doing, we are playing the role of a facilitator here.
Okay.
All right? And we believe our investor, they factored all those things into it, and we are comfortable with our investor. We are very comfortable with it.
Okay, now let's look at the prospects for expansion. Lagos State definitely is a mega city already.
Right.
With a population of 21 million people. And you're looking at delivering this project in another 3 years?
Yes, please.
According to reports that we have heard.
Yes.
Are there any projections, to take into consideration the explosive expanding nature of Lagos State, so that you don't find yourself in a bottleneck?
That's the purpose of this Fourth Mainland Bridge.
Okay.
Because we are only being proactive. Okay. So we don't want. We don't want the city or the state to be turned into a slum. Because if nothing is done, in the very near future, the state will be turned to a slum.
No, what I'm talking about is this. Let me give you an example. With Third Mainland Bridge now, the whole idea was to reduce traffic, gridlock, and all of that.
And also
but on Third Mainland Bridge today, every morning there's that bumper to bumper on that bridge.
Right.
So with this new project coming on stream,
it will just reduce it.
It's not
just reduce it for now
itself.
For now, right?
You mean on Third Mainland Bridge?
No, this new bridge, this
bridge.
fourth mainland bridge.
I mean, it will reduce the traffic gridlock on Third Mainland Bridge drastically, because, like I said, the end-to-end is from Abraham Adesoya, which is in Niger. The other end is Ojodobaja, okay, which is along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. So people from Ikeja, for example, who lives in Ikeja environs, so instead of using Third Mainland Bridge, they have the option of using the Fourth Mainland Bridge to Abraham Adesoya, especially those of them walking around Victoria Island and all that. So it's easier and faster for them to use Fourth Mainland Bridge to Abraham Adesoya.
Yeah. Perhaps without preempting the government, maybe my colleague will want to know if there's the Fifth Mainland Bridge in the offing sometime soon.
That's not even what I'm talking about. You know, Honorable Commissioner, you seem to be getting me wrong here.
Okay.
What I am saying is the purpose of the Third Mainland Bridge, for example, was to reduce traffic and all of that. But on the Third Mainland Bridge itself, you now have that gridlock happening. So with the Fourth Mainland Bridge, when it comes on stream, would you have a situation where, you know, what is happening with the Third Mainland Bridge will be happening, or are you projecting that on this Fourth Mainland Bridge, we don't even want to see traffic?
See, I mean, we are only forecasting. Like she said, you see, with the proposed Fourth Mainland Bridge, automatically it will reduce congestion. But even before the completion of Fourth Mainland Bridge, we still have proposals to construct Fifth Mainland Bridge. I mean, we can, construct as many bridges as possible across the lagoon.
Okay.
In London, for example, the Thames River, we have so many, over 17 bridges across Thames River. So nothing stops us from stopping at Fourth Mainland Bridge. When Qatar Bridge was constructed, so many years ago, when the pressure was too much, we now constructed Eco Bridge. After Eco Bridge, we moved to Third Mainland Bridge. Now we are moving to Fourth Mainland Bridge. There's nothing stopping us from not doing Fifth and Sixth Mainland Bridge along the lagoon.
All right. Let's look at what is spectacular, what is fantastic about this Fourth Mainland Bridge, apart from the fact that we reduce traffic gridlock and congestion. What are the things that we should look at?
Development. Okay, we are bringing development to Ikorodu, and that road, the bridge is not just bridge alone; it's bridge and road. Okay, it makes it. So people will just look at it as Fourth Mainland Bridge that is going to be bridge all the way through. No, it's not bridge all the way through. It's a combination of both bridge and road work. All right. So it's going to bring development to Ikorodu, especially in those areas where we have interchanges at Ibe. Okay, by interchanges, it's going to drop, just like what we have at Maitu. Okay, I mean, it will allow economic growth, economic activities along that axis within that community. At Itamaja, where the junction of Itokin and Obafemi Awolowo, so we are going to have an interchange there. So it will spur development too. All right. At Odogion, where we even have industries there, we are going to have another interchange. It will also spur, encourage development. So people were able to evacuate their goods from those cottage industries to Interland. Okay,
that's, I mean, I'm sure the people of Ikorodu will be really excited to hear all of this benefits that will come to them. But those whose, properties, houses, buildings are here, about 800 of them or so, will be demolished to make way for this development. What kind of plans do you have in place? I want to believe that you do, to compensate them so that, we're not creating more problems by solving, a major problem here.
Yeah, I agree with you. You say in any development, there are some associated pains that goes with it. Even within the urban setting, if we are constructing a new road or a bridge, you know, all those things within the right of way. Okay, I mean, government usually on compassionate grounds, we do compensate. We do if they have their legal documents with them. If they don't, on a compassionate ground, we do compensate. But the investor will do the will take care of them. That much I know.
Okay.
The investor.
So what hours of construction are you going to work in the day or in the night? If you work in the day, won't it affect movement within the city? Would it affect the economic activities in the city?
Because it's a virgin, you know, the corridor is purely virgin. So it's really not going to affect commuters. So the way we plan to work is to engage two contractors. Okay, one will start from Ujudubaja, the other one will start from Ibrahim Adesanya. So they will meet somewhere at the middle. And within the contractors themselves, they will have so many gangs, maybe 4 or 5 gangs. And that's the only way we can deliver the project within this time frame we are looking at.
And so it is realistic that within 3 years,
yes,
this bridge come road will be ready. Then there are concerns about, you know, maintenance. How do you plan to maintain this project when, you know, it takes off fully? Will there be toll?
Will
it be tolled?
Of course, okay. Of course. I mean, we plan to have about 3 tolls. And because it's PPP, the investor will recoup their investment through tolls and also maintain this bridge for us. And they will do this over a period of 40 years. And by the time they are handing over the bridge to us, it must be put into a satisfactory condition. So those are some of the things we've agreed that they will do, that they will put in place. Maintenance is a continuous thing on any structure. You just have to, and they will. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we are introducing interchanges, so that those interchanges will spur development. The development will generate traffic along the corridor, and that traffic will give them money into their pocket. Do you understand?
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
Should we look forward to a repeat of what happened in Lekki, where you have the issue of tolls and the court case? Would there be a repeat of that?
No, I don't think so. I don't, because the people are yearning for this. You have to feel the people. I mean, the people are yearning for it. I mean, an average person wants to leave his house and gets to where he's going within a very short time. 2, because of the development spoiling from Lekki corridor, Ibeju-Lekki corridor, like the Dangote, deep seaport, the airport, you know, from that axis, that will generate a lot of traffic.
Okay, let me use the opportunity. You are the minister, the Commissioner for Works in Lagos State and Infrastructure.
Yes.
The whole of Ajah axis, I mean, that Lekki corridor is the fastest growing in the world.
Right.
But there seems to be a major problem where there is no drainage. You find people building and putting all kinds of structures on ground without drainage. And then when, you know, the rainy season comes, like we're about to experience that now. We've already gone into it already. You have you know, flooding and all of that. How do you plan to you know, solve that problem?
No, you see, when you say there is no drainage, I disagree with you. I mean, we have the Ministry of Environment.
If you go to Abidjan, Shangote, all those areas, they don't have.
You know, you see, the Ministry of Environment, okay, they have a master plan for the area, and they are doing these things in phases.
All right.
It may not be noticeable to you, but I know that they are doing them in phases.
It's time to let the whole world know and you
No, they are doing
on the Goshen's, because we need to see these things. Okay.
No, they are doing them in phases.
All right.
That much
It's time to join Kemi Folade for a news update night, top of the hour. Hello, Kemi, it's over to you now.
Thanks a lot, Busolami. Well, it's a big day now for people of Rivers State as President Muhammadu Buhari is visiting that state today to flag off the implementation of the United Nations Environmental Program, the UNEP report on Ogoni land. His visit kickstarts the process of cleaning up the area after several years of oil exploration and exploitation by multinational oil companies, resulting in environmental pollution and degradation. Though released during the former President Goodluck Jonathan's administration, the UNEP report implementation is being executed by the President Muhammadu Buhari government. Meanwhile, the Rivers State government has placed a temporary ban on the operation of motorcycles and tricycles in Gokana and Kana local government areas ahead of the president's visit. Governor Nyesom Wike says the ban will be effective between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. According to the governor, the president's visit is most significant because he's not on a political mission but to kickstart the largest environmental cleanup in the nation's history, for which people of Rivers and indeed the Niger Delta will remain grateful. However, the militant group Niger Delta Avengers has struck again. This time, the group blew up pipelines belonging to oil major Chevron in Delta State. The firm noticed a drop in pressure during production in the early hours of Wednesday. The affected pipelines are the BB Oil Well RMP-23 and the RMP-24. The Avengers claimed responsibility via their Twitter handle, saying it carried out the attack despite the military deploying 100 gunboats, 4 warships and jet bombers. Politics now. The crisis rocking Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, has taken a new turn, with the Board of Trustees taking over. The chairman of the board, Walid Jibrin, told members of staff of the party at its national secretariat in Abuja that the National Working Committee, led by former Governor Ali Modu Sheriff, and the Interim National Caretaker Committee, led by former Governor Ahmed Makarfi, had been sacked. The Nigerian Code of Conduct Tribunal has adjourned the trial of Senate President Bukola Saraki indefinitely after a star witness for the prosecution failed to show up in court. This is the second adjournment in 1 week. Last week, the trial was adjourned for the cross-examination of the main prosecution witness, Michael Wetcast, to continue. The tribunal chairman, Danladi Umar, said that adjournment was to give the court time to hear other cases. Public workers in Ondo State embarked on an indefinite strike following the inability of the government to pay their 5-month salaries. The strike follows a directive issued by 3 labor unions. Offices have been under lock and key as labor leaders move around to monitor the level of compliance. The labor leaders in the state say many of the unpaid workers find it hard to provide for their basic needs of life. Well, the conversation continues now on TVC Breakfast as we, of course, wait for the 4th Mainland Bridge.
Okay, Kemi, thank you very much.
Actually, Kemi lives around the area.
Okay, yes, and I live there too. That's why I'm so excited about, you know. All right, you're welcome back. It's still TVC Breakfast, and we have in the studio engineer Ganiu Johnson, who is a Honorable Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Lagos State. We're talking about the 4th Mainland Bridge that is about to come on stream. Now, Lagos, one of Nigeria's most populated and busiest cities, is often faced with gridlock, but this may soon ease. There are currently 3 bridges connecting Lagos Island to the mainland. They are the Kata, the Eko Bridge, and then the longest of them all, a 3rd Mainland Bridge. But another bridge is about to be constructed on the lagoon, and they call it the 4th Mainland Bridge.
Now, the Lagos State government has signed a memorandum of understanding with consortium firms to begin the construction of the bridge, like our guest told you earlier, and that will cost the state almost 1 trillion naira and will be delivered in 3 years. It is important to note that this is the first time a state government will be embarking on the construction of a long-span bridge and expressway without relying on the federal government for funding. It is also a project to be funded solely by the private sector.
Okay, let's take a look at some quick facts about the proposed bridge. The bridge is designed to cover a distance of 38 kilometers under a build, operate and transfer, that's BOT concession, and the state's public-private partnership program for a period of 40 years. At the end of the 40-year concession, the project would be handed over to the Lagos State government, and that means the bridge will have toll gates and Lagosians will have to pay to use it.
Luckily, there won't be court issues this time. So the project is to be financed by Africa Finance Corporation, Access Bank, Julius Berger, Nigerian PLC, High Tech Construction Limited, JP Morgan, Eldorado Nigeria Limited, Nigerian Westminster Dredging and Marine, while Visible Assets Limited will be the coordinating firm.
It would be made up of 8 interchanges, like you heard earlier, to link different parts of the state. The bridge will provide the required transportation complement to the rapidly growing industrial activities on the Etiosa, Lekki-Ekpe corridor of the state. And the proposed alignment of the bridge will pass through Lekki, Langbasa and Bayeku towns along the shoreline of the Lagos Lagoon estuaries through Igbogbo River Basin and crossing the Lagos Lagoon estuaries to Itamaga area in Ikorodu.
The alignment will also cross through the Itokin Road and the Ikorodu-Shagamu Road to connect Ishawo inward the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway at Ojodu-Bega axis.
The bridge will be a 4-lane dual carriageway with each comprising 3 lanes and 2 meters hard shoulder on each side. It will also have a generous median to allow for both future carriageway expansion and light rail facility. The bridge would accommodate cyclists and pedestrians, feature 2 service areas, accommodate 3 toll plazas, as well as additional pedestrian crossing.
This is what we are hearing now, that okay, even the cyclists can be on that same way. That means will it be lawful to have the kekena peps and the on the road?
No.
Okay.
But joggers can always feel free to, just like the Bodilon Bridge. It's always exciting when you drive through and you see people, actually taking advantage of that beautiful landmark of Lagos State.
Yes.
All right, let's look at some of the reasons why a 4th mainland bridge is needed. 1, it will reduce traffic congestion usually experienced in the early hours of the day and in the evenings.
And the need for alternative routes to link other parts of Lagos, especially Ikorodu. The construction of the 3rd mainland bridge, 4th actually, will help create job opportunities for Lagosians. It will also expand the lifespan of other bridges that have been in use for more than 20 years.
All right.
Very good reasons for this 4th mainland bridge to come on stream. Yes, the light rail system, I mean, that really is music to the ears. A state like Lagos is long overdue to have that. What is happening with the light rail project right now that is ongoing along the Badagry?
That's the light, blue line.
The blue line, yes.
Blue line. Yeah, we are on course. We are at Marina now. We hope we'll be able to complete the civil infrastructure on or before December this year. So the rolling stock will start to come in because it is after the civil infrastructure. I'm talking about the rail and other things. Once that is done, then the rolling stock and signalization will take place.
So will there be provision like you find
because
in
really,
other parts of...
That is the way to go.
Yes.
Because that's the only way we can, mass move people. That is the way to go.
In other parts of the world, when you go to, whether it's Germany, to the Hauptbahnhofs or, in London and what have you, you find commercial activities going on at the train stations. You have such plans in place, so that...
Yeah,
okay.
That's why we have stations. If you go to Lagos Badagry corridor, we have already about 4 stations. One at Maitu, Alaba, Orile, and even at the...
So will that stop hawking on the street?
Yes, that will discourage hawking on the street. So we intend to have some small kiosks there to encourage commuters to use the place.
Okay, all right. It's time to bring Moses in here. Let's hear what Nigerians are saying about the 4th Mainland Bridge. What Lagosians are saying really about the 4th Mainland Bridge.
Well, as a matter of fact, it affects all Nigerians.
All Nigerians indeed, because it's the largest commercial center indeed. So Moses is here. Hello,
I believe that call, that was my call.
That was your call.
Yes, that was your call.
Yeah, good
all right,
morning.
yeah. So the hashtag 4th Mainland Bridge has been buzzing. In fact, we had to, clearly think it through before, saving our comments. Well, let's find out what, some Nigerians are saying in view. So with the hashtag 4th Mainland Bridge, DHL Modua says, hashtag 4th Mainland Bridge, 844 billion is almost Lagos' entire budget for 2 years. If by now you don't get the essence of PPP in development, you never will. And Mike Ajibola says, 4th Mainland Bridge, I'm happy to hear this. I will see it when it is in place. God bless our amiable governor at Akiwomi Ambode. And Talk Active says, traffic on Ikorodu this evening is killing. I can't wait for 4th Mainland Bridge further than next 3 years. The next 3 weeks. 3 years seems eternally long. And Sodimu says, Niger Bridge was to cost 150 billion naira for 2 kilometers, whilst Lagos 4th Mainland Bridge will cost 844 billion naira for 38 kilometers. Good luck, Billy Jonathan's government was very corrupt. And Provin says, Akiwomi Ambode, sir, please make it clear to us. No BOT concession, which is the build and transfer concession there, and tolling for 25 years, hashtag 4th Mainland Bridge. Yeah, the commissioner has said that in fact there's going to be 3 toll points on that bridge. And Akiwomi Ambode says the new 4th Mainland Bridge will serve as an alternative route to the eastern axis and decongest traffic in the state. Akiwomi also says the 38-kilometer bridge and expressway will become the longest bridge and expressway anywhere once completed. Hashtag 4th Mainland Bridge. And Emi Lagos finally says, I want to ask, I hope Akiwomi Ambode is aware that there is acute shortage of water supply in Lagos. Hashtag 4th Mainland Bridge. So we've heard, what Nigerians are saying. 844 billion naira. As my colleague was saying, that money not be being so. But I'm going to throw a couple of options your way, Commissioner Johnson. I would like you to react genuinely to them. 844 billion naira could have been invested, in a gas electricity plant or a solar farm, to step up electricity supply in Lagos. 844 billion naira could have been invested on a railway network to further, remove the pressure on road usage. 844 billion naira could, have been used to, a quarter of that really could have been used to, to improve on our public transport system. So an average Lagosian will not even need to put his car on the road in the first place. Now, were all these options fully explored before arriving at a 4th Mainland Bridge?
Yeah, you see, the truth of the matter is that it is not the state government that is financing this project.
Okay.
It's an investor. So it's what interests them. So we have options. They come in and say, we are interested in this particular investment. So we cannot tell them not to do.
You can't dictate for
okay, we cannot. 2, on the light rail, we are talking to so many investors. Like I said, that is the way to go, especially in a state where you have a population of over 21 million people. For you to, take people out of it, move people, it is light rail. If you go to London today, the underground, the subway, the surface train, these are ways how they move people around. You see, now, if we limit it to just what we have, because 96% of our transportation system in Lagos today is by road, and we must do something to improve what we have until the light rail comes up. We cannot fold our arms and say, okay, and light rail for a rail project, the gestation period takes a longer time, unlike road.
Yeah, but
You see,
the long-term benefits are way
yes,
better.
that's why we're concurrently, as we are talking on about Fourth Mainland Bridge, we are also talking about the red line from Ijoku to Ido. We are already on course on the blue line from Okukumaiko to CMS. If you go to CMS today, you see those piers coming up on Outer Marina Road. You see the piers coming up, which implies that we're on course.
Okay.
Okay.
Hashtag
Moses?
we're on course.
Yes, hashtag indeed.
thank
We
you.
How
are
we do.
on course.
Yeah.
Thank
you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank
And
you
that's
very
where
much.
we'll have to say thank you so much, Engineer Ganiu Johnson. On